You're watching WKYC, Channel 3, Cleveland. And now, the latest news from Connie Deacon and Dick Fagler. Complete forecasts from Amy Haston and Jim Donovan on sports. This is Channel 3 News.
We have anger, we have disgust, disappointment.
A natural reaction from someone who just found out his job is going away. He's among some 600 local auto workers who found out today their plant is closing. Good evening. The General Motors plant in Euclid has been a fixture there for 51 years now, but no more.
GM claims, despite efforts to keep the place alive, it's a lost cause. But the union's not giving up the fight. And Channel 3's Tom Barris is live outside the plant. Tom, this was a real holiday bombshell.
Dick, it is. This place has been dying little by little for a long time, and nobody is happy about the pre-Christmas Grinch timing of this announcement. It is strictly a bottom-line decision by General Motors' tough new management. It is obviously grim news for the 596 workers who passed through those doors. But Euclid's mayor says it won't be a catastrophe for the city. He thinks he can woo new companies and jobs to move in here. The news was cold, but no surprise. GM's decided this old factory can't cut it anymore and will shut down by October 1994.
Now, General Motors has had a very good relationship with this community and with the workforce, and it's just a business decision, and it's unfortunate, but with the competitiveness of this facility, we simply could not continue.
They used to put GM luxury cars together here. In the 70s, they began making seat covers, now for top-of-the-line Cadillacs, Pontiacs, and Oldsmobiles. We couldn't take pictures inside today. Workers knew there was an axe over their head, though. They had to reach certain productivity goals or else. The company claims an independent study found despite more automation and union concessions, things won't improve enough. The union doesn't buy that.
In that agreement, it says if we do become competitive, we will stay here with our membership and we'll be given additional work and keep this facility open. And as far as the local union is concerned at this point, that's what we're working toward.
Just a third of the plant is being used now. There used to be 1,800 workers here. But surprisingly, it's just Euclid's 7th biggest employer today. The city will take a $400,000 hit in lost income tax, but Mayor David Lynch is downplaying that and talking opportunity. The city's had good luck bringing new companies into old factories and was already working with GM to do that here.
So while this is certainly a cloud, like many clouds, it may have a silver lining.
But these are proud workers who make good products. And as Jodine Costanzo found, that silver lining's hard for them to see.
Bye-bye! As workers left the Inland Fisher Guide plant today, it was symbolic of what's to come. It won't be long before they say goodbye for good, leaving behind honest work that brought in a steady paycheck. Dave Bilko, a father and husband, says the closing is devastating.
Loss of pay, loss of benefits, secure job, 15 years. I thought we'd retire from GM, but who knows?
It is a bad news, really sad. Yeah, but what you gonna do about it?
Question marks cloud the future of workers. About half are eligible for a 30-year retirement, but it doesn't bring peace of mind.
I really don't know what I'm going to do. Like I said, even if I took the retirement, the mutual retirement, it wouldn't be enough for me to live on. I'd have to find another job.
Over the past couple of years, workers here took concessions hoping to save the plant. Still, they knew today's news was inevitable. But it doesn't make losing a job any easier.
General Motors never had any intentions of keeping it open, whether we got competitive or not.
Workers were told of the plant closing early this morning. Some say the timing couldn't be worse.
Good Christmas present. Very good.
We will have a happy Christmas, though, but I don't know about years to come.
Despite the uncertainty and disappointment, some workers took the news on the chin and found comfort in comic relief.
We're gonna go to Disneyland now.
Jodine Costanzo, Channel 3 News.
To wrap up our top story tonight, the Inland Fisher Guide division of General Motors will close by October of 1994. 596 jobs will disappear from Euclid, and General Motors says it will try to place as many people as possible in other jobs. Those who can't be placed will get help getting a new job, GM says. Details about severance pay still haven't been revealed. Connie?
Frightening moment this afternoon for a young Cleveland boy. 1-year-old Josh Roop was attacked by his aunt's Doberman Pinscher. It happened in their home on Meta Avenue. The boy's mother says she heard a clunk.
Then I heard a cry, And then we went in there, and all I did was see his head. He had three real deep cuts and 2 puncture wounds on the other side of his head. Yeah.
Josh was treated today at Rainbow Babies and Children's Hospital. Doctors closed the wounds you see there underneath those bandages with a number of stitches. The dog belonged to his mother's sister, was taken to the city kennel. Mrs. Roop says this Doberman had bitten her older child a couple of years ago.
A Canton City employee who was identified yesterday as a prime suspect in a series of killings of outdoorsmen says he didn't do it. Thomas Dillon of Magnolia, according to a public statement by an assistant U.S. attorney, may be responsible for as many as 11 homicides. The FBI said Dillon was one of several suspects in a series of serial killings in eastern Ohio. Dillon's lawyer says he was surprised by the statements.
There is really no tangible evidence to support these allegations, and he is denying that he's involved in any of these killings.
Dillon, who has not been formally charged with any of the killings, was brought to Cleveland today for a hearing on another charge. Federal Judge John Manos delayed sentencing him on a firearms violation and ordered him held without bond.
An engineer at a natural gas pumping station in Medina is dead tonight. He was shot to death while he was on the job. Police tell us 50-year-old Alex Kovac of Brunswick was found dead at Columbia Gas, which is on West State Road in Medina. Kovac was shot with a .45 caliber handgun. And this man, 22-year-old Derek Fisher, was in an Akron courtroom this morning facing rape charges. Last night, we told you how the victim called 911. Police responded while they were listening to the attack. Fisher is being held now on a $10,000 cash bond.
A federal judge in Columbus today awarded $27.3 million to track star Butch Reynolds. The judge said Reynolds did not use steroids and was wrongly barred from the Olympics. Reynolds is an Akron native and world record holder in the 400 meters. He was suspended in 1990 after the ruling body of track and field said he tested positive for steroids. Reynolds maintained his innocence and fought in the courts. The judge found that the International Amateur Athletic Federation was malicious in its treatment of Reynolds. In Akron today, his mother said the ruling restores his son's good name.
The money is that he have his reputation back, that he's been proven innocent. To me, this is proving that Butch is innocent.
Likely, the International Athletic Federation will fight the ruling. It says U.S. courts have no jurisdiction over that track body. We'll hear from Butch later in sports.
And keep the vision.
Well, today students at South High got most of this day off because of the cold temperatures. All of the students were dismissed around 11 o'clock this morning. The heating system apparently wasn't working. South High students will have the day off tomorrow as well. Workers will fix the heating system then. Amy's going to tell us how cold things are going to get, by the way, coming up a little bit later on in their Doppler 3 forecast. So,
we're sure those kids were very angry.
Oh, I'm sure they were heartbroken.
Well, there was a touching homecoming out at Hopkins Airport today. And up next, Leon Bibb tells us how a story of tragedy is turning into joy.
Also ahead, another link between urban and rural Ohio that opened today.
A Christmas story from Alvin's Jewelers.
I just can't wait till tomorrow morning. Merry Christmas, darling.
Oh, my honey.
Alvin's Jewelers has the perfect ways to surprise her and say, Merry Christmas, darling.
Motor Trend has named Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo V8 Truck of the Year, and we're celebrating with a holiday toy sale. This season, give the gift that keeps on driving, a Jeep Grand Cherokee. Or get great year-end prices on rugged Jeep Wrangler. Or classic Jeep Cherokee Sport. With so many models at the Jeep Holiday Toy Sale, it'll be easy to find one to go under your tree. Whatever kind of tree that is.
See your Superstar Jeep and Eagle dealer today.
Ever since the 50s, I love to make patty melts, except I made them special.
Hey, Dave, make me one of those swell patty melts, but make it square, man. Okie dokie.
I made them with a quarter pound of fresh beef, sauteed onions, 2 slices of Swiss with my own sauce. They're neato.
Hi, Dave.
Hi, Lorraine.
Introducing the Wendy melt. It's a 50s thing.
Man, if I had a pair of peg pants and a flat top, it'd be 1954 all over again.
Make holiday shopping easy. Shop smart. Shop Discount Drug Mart and save time and money. Crayola crayons are the perfect stocking stuffers. Crayola is a gift that inspires the artist in your child. Available in traditional colors, hot fluorescent colors, and washable crayons. And here's a gift that kids and parents will love. The Crayola Carousel for storing crayons.
Discount Drug Mart saves you the runaround. Discount Drug Mart saves you the runaround. You'll find everything you need.
Her landlord told her, put out or get out.
He said, meet me right now or you're out of there.
Next, Jerry Springer, tenants stalked by their landlords.
A member of Congress, an airline, and Mothers Against Drunk Driving got together to help a family in desperate need.
Channel 3's Leon Bibb has a story now of a Clevelander who went to Dallas looking for work, but instead he found tragedy and a near touch with death.
I'm so nervous. My brother, he's okay. He's starting to get better. He's got a long way to go yet, though.
Picture this. Family waiting nervously at Hopkins Airport for the homecoming only moments away. Anxious ticks on the clock, but not as anxious as those last month when a family member's life hung by a slender thread following a Dallas automobile crash. It was caused by a drunk driver who hit the man for whom we wait. It was thought 19-year-old Paul Drury would not survive, but he has. Taking a bus to Dallas, his mother later realizes there is no money for a necessary doctor-prescribed airline return for son.
I just called MAD, and they took it from there. I got a call yesterday from Pat Mancino, and 2 hours later they called me back again and said that they were going to be home today.
What MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and AIDS and Congresswoman Mary Rose Okar's office did was tell the story to Continental Airlines. Continental gave them a free ride from Dallas to Cleveland. What went through your mind when you'd heard that your son had been involved in a terrible automobile accident there in Texas?
I couldn't tell you. I just have no idea. It was a shock.
What'd you think when that plane set down on Cleveland soil?
I was happy to be back with my family.
Doctors say Drury should heal. But for now, what is important is recovery itself and reunion with family, where life begins again. Leon Bibb, Channel 3 News, Hopkins Airport.
Paul Drury right now is recovering from those bruises that are on his brain. He has cuts in his stomach. As you saw there, an inability to walk, and as you heard from him, his voice is pretty weak.
Well, after 35 years, Route 422 is finally complete through eastern Cuyahoga and western Geauga counties. That's from Interstates 271 and 480 to State Highway 44. They opened the last 6 miles of the road at noon today with speeches, a ribbon cutting, and a motorcade over the $30 million project. It connects Geauga County routes 306 and 44. This is the highway that almost never was. The first and second parts were finished in 1975, but this section almost got lost in a shuffle of paperwork. Now it's open, and the prediction is it will bring big changes to the pastoral environment of southern Geauga County.
Now, we don't normally do missing dog stories, but we're going to make an exception tonight because it comes at the request of the Coast Guard. Rocky is his name. He is a German Shepherd. He's the mascot of the Cleveland Coast Guard Station. Frequently goes out on the lake, all kinds of rescue missions, but he hasn't been seen since Tuesday. If you think you may have seen Rocky, please call the Cleveland Coast Guard. They would appreciate knowing his whereabouts. Well, are we going to get any snow for the weekend? We won't ask you, then we'll ask Amy. She's coming up with her Doppler 3 forecast.
All right, and guess what? Steve Kerr has been traded again by the Cavs. Really? Honest? The story later in sports.
This Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the fur is going to fly right off the racks. May Company is offering the lowest pre-Christmas prices ever on hundreds of furs at the Heights store. Save 40 to 50% on every stunning fur in May Company's collection. And see just how good a good deal can feel. Hurry, May Company's lowest pre-Christmas fur prices ever will be gone after Sunday. But at this rate, who knows?
If Sears thinks they can beat Fredder's prices on name brand appliances and electronics, there's no way. Because the minute they claim a lower price, it's immediately less at Fredder, or it's yours, no charge. In a recent survey of 43 identical items, Fredder's prices were lower than Sears on 39. And on the other 4, Fredder immediately lowered their prices. Can they beat that? There's no way. It's always better to buy at Fredder.
When you see news, call the Channel 3 tip line.
A simple comparison between a Ford Taurus lease and the competition's lease. You can lease a new Ford Taurus for $277 a month for 24 months with no down payment. They advertise a lower payment, which looks good until you look at the asterisk, which disclaims a 60-month lease. So in 5 years, you could be leasing your third new Taurus, or you could be driving an old one of theirs. What a difference an asterisk makes. The Taurus lease, $277 a month for 24 months. Only at your Northeast Ohio Ford dealer.
Ponderosa's Economic Recovery Plan continues. Announcing lobster for the holidays. We made a special purchase to give you the best value this season. Lobster dinners like lobster and steak, or our tasty two-tailed dinner, each with all the trimmings. Lobster for the holidays, an economical way to add something special to your holidays. Ponderosa's ongoing Economic Recovery Plan.
George Jones' life used to play like a sad song. Now find out how one of country's greatest stars beat addiction only on Entertainment Tonight.
Tonight at 7:30 on Channel 3.
Well, I got to tell you, the wind was whipping around my apartment last night, blowing my furniture against the railing, waking people up. It was awful.
It was very, very windy, and it was snowy in some areas too. Generally speaking, though, we only got about 1 inch to 2 inches. That snow melted very quickly. We were dry for today, but our snow chances will be making a very quick return, especially just in time for the weekend. Let's take a look at Doppler 3 radar right now, though, and you'll see dry conditions over the entire state. By tomorrow this time, though, we could have as much as 1 to 3 inches in areas of Northeast Ohio, possibly even a little more with some snow squalls in the forecast. So right now we have 31, though, and we are at our low for the day. If you recognize that, that's just outside our building here at Channel 3. Mike Green, video journalist here, decided to go outside and get our weather shot today. Didn't venture out very far because it is cold outside. 64% the relative humidity. We don't blame you, Mike. Winds from the south at 5 miles an hour, and the wind chill at, actually that should be 29 degrees. The barometer at 30.27. Our high today, 35 degrees. Low, well, we're at it for right now, 31. Normally, we're anywhere between 42 and 28. And in terms of rain and snow mixed, well, we've seen about 2/100ths of an inch of that. And we are dry for now, but the clouds are still lingering, not only across Ohio, but over into the mid-Atlantic region and into the nation's midsection as well. The good news is underneath these clouds for right now, we are basically dry. The National Radar Summary showing dry conditions extending all the way from Pennsylvania back into the Virginias, over the Ohio Valley region. But as we move into Wisconsin, Minnesota, and Iowa, we're seeing some heavy amounts of snowfall. Rain and snow mixed across Oklahoma into Texas, where a